Okay, today we're going to cover the operation of the small pump package on Rescue 38. This is used primarily for your practical purpose of your small vehicle operators testing. We're going to begin with the actual package. We're not going to discuss in length in terms of operation or what this unit holds, but how to run it on the fireground. First things first, we have to put power to the unit. It's very simple. We have a key. It's an ignition key, and we have off, ignition, and start. To do this, we'll turn the ignition fully to the right to the start mode. At this point in time, the unit will start, the choke will be on, the throttle will be at about half. Once the unit starts, the first thing we want to do is reach up to the right-hand side to the gray switch and turn the choke off. Once the choke's off, the motor should settle out and idle smoothly. At that point in time, we can bring our RPMs up. When we look to the front, we'll also notice that we have a pressure gauge here. This pump is primed, so pressure will automatically show on the gauge reading. That'll be your discharge as we throttle up or throttle down. One other feature we have here in case the electrical system to the key fails is a pull cord system, which is located on the left-hand side of the Honda pump or the motor package, and again, it's just a regular pull to start. Other features that we have on here also is a foam system. We are going to be running Class A foam in here. Our foam system is a Scotty. This system here will allow us to select percentage of foam. We can select anywhere from 1% right up to 18% foam on this unit. This is done by a dial switch here, which is numerically listed Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta settings. To get foam out of this system, there is a graph on the side that will allow you to select the percentage as well as numerical setting. To obtain this, we look at the setting and the percentage that we want, we line it up, and we follow the simple directions on the side. For example, if I look here and I want 1% foam, it is an A setting. So what I will do with the knob, the setting knob or the foam selection knob, is I will follow the directions. It tells me to turn this 2 revolutions and set to the A. By turning this 2 full revolutions, 1, 2, to the A setting, I will now be getting 1% foam. This is an A-class foam that we carry on this vehicle. Once we finish using the Class A foam system and we have to turn this off and flush it, it's very simple. We just repeat the process. So our selection knob, right, we just turn that the opposite way that we first turned it till it fully shuts off, and then we run fresh water through the system to flush it. That simple. Next, we're going to discuss how we physically get water from the pump package, from the tank, down your 1.5-inch hose line to your nozzle. This whole operation is primarily done by the driver when we arrive on scene, as the firefighters are getting ready with their SCBA and taking the hand line off the truck. So once the hand line has been removed from the truck, has been flaked out, and the driver has made sure that the hose bed has been cleared, the responsibility now lies with the driver to make sure water is being delivered to the nozzle. For this unit is a pre-connected hose line, and we have 1 valve or 1 discharge valve that we have to operate. That discharge valve is marked with yellow reflective tape, right? It's located on the left-hand side of the pump package, and it's very easily just to pull forward towards you, the operator, to allow water to be drawn from the pump down the line. And to close this valve, it's the reverse. Push it back towards the truck, and that will shut down your water supply. Keeping in mind, all pump discharge pressures must be controlled from the throttle on the opposite side or the right-hand side of the pump package. One other discharge option we have on this vehicle is a forestry connection. That is this 1.5-inch outlet here. That allows us, with our adapters on board, to connect up our forestry line, so we're able to, say, set sprinkler systems up off this truck, or use it as a standalone line in a wildland or a urban wildland interface setting. This will always maintain, or will always be the same connection, the forestry connection, quarter turn. We will not take this one off this discharge or this outlet. This second discharge that we spoke of here can be run independently. It has its own discharge handle. That is located the left-hand side of that 1.5" discharge or 1.5" outlet. This will allow us to not only control our original pre-connect that we spoke of earlier, but it will allow us to also control this line if we need to. It's very simple to use, much like the first discharge. It's just a valve handle to pull forward, to close, we push back. It's important that we make sure before we run this pump that all these discharges are closed. If not, water will come out under pressure, and if you're standing in front of it, you will get wet. Another option we have with this system is being able to fill the tank from an independent water source, be it another truck or possibly a hydrant, providing we have the right connections. The connections that we can do here from the water source to the truck can be 1.5" up to 2.5 inches. That is done here on the back of the truck. It's a very simple connection with one valve for fill operation. When we're filling from an independent water source, we have two ways to know if our truck is full of water. The first way is you'll notice that water will run out from the top of the truck onto the ground underneath. The other way is we have a tank fill indicator light. The ignition must be on for the tank fill indicator light to work, and this shows from an empty, quarter, half, 3/4 to a full line. Once it's at the full mark, the truck will be full. One of the other options we have on this vehicle is our foam system, as we discussed earlier. As that foam system is depleted, we have to have a means to fill this foam system. The foam system, the A-class foam system, is easily filled through a top fill foam hatch. This hatch is located right-hand side, the bed of the pump package. It's denoted by the green color. Again, it's a top fill. Open the hatch, grab your required buckets of foam in the 5-gallon pails, pour them in. It's that simple. Once we finish using the pump package here on Rescue 38, it's imperative that we turn it to service correctly each and every time. First things first, make sure we have filled up the 150-gallon water tank on board. Make sure we've filled up our foam system with the top fill, and make sure that we've turned off all our discharge handles. Other things that we have to consider is fuel. This system here takes straight gasoline, and it is a top fill. Make sure that unit is filled up each and every time once the unit has cooled down. Never refuel a hot unit. Other items, the choke. It's imperative that we turn the choke, the gray knob, back to the on position, and we set our throttle to about the halfway mark. The ignition switch, also make sure it is gone to the off position. Other than that, that's all we need to do for returning to service. So when we first arrive on scene, when the driver exits the apparatus, comes to the back, his first job is going to be to turn the pump on. The firefighter will be deploying the hose line to the direction that it's needed, and the pump operator will engage the pump. It's very simple for that pump operator. He powers up the system with the ignition key. If the ignition key doesn't work, he would go to the pull start. Once the motor is running, we depress the choke once warm, pushing the choke forward. Once the choke is off, we will throttle the unit up. As the unit is being throttled up, we'll also notice an increase in discharge pressure. Keeping in mind, this pump is primed. Once we've got our desired pressure established, the driver will check the bed and make sure that the hose line has been deployed fully. At that time, communication will commence between command, the nozzle, and the truck, and the discharge will be opened at that time. To open the discharge, very simply, pull it towards the operator. water will fill the line.